been a long evening. And I've been really wrestling with my remarks for tonight. If you've been here before, you know that that usually isn't the problem. Sometimes I vocalize when I really shouldn't use those words. I've been using those words a lot more lately. Yeah, I kind of got in trouble for it last time. So I'm up here tonight, right now, to connect the dots. Everyone who's spoken tonight, from the Spirit of Matthew Award winners, Alyssa, Jamie, Jason, Daniel, it's like, okay, we have a common thread here. We all have a story to tell. And those stories have impacted tonight, those stories have impacted all of us. Maybe we relate to them because it's our story. Maybe we know or love somebody who has a similar story. Maybe the outcome wasn't as positive as tonight, or maybe it was more positive than it was tonight for some of their stories. What we try to do at the Matthew Shepard Foundation is to include everyone who is feeling marginalized. The most uplifting moment for me after the inauguration, and I needed an uplifting moment after the inauguration, was what was billed as the Women's March. Now, yes, it was amazing. It was wonderful, but the whole time I'm watching the world protest the inauguration of 45, it was, yeah, that's what I call it. The idea that it was a movement around the world, but it was not just about women's issues, right? It was immigrants, it was LGBTQ, it was environment, it was people of color, it was everybody. It was the perfect example of the most current buzzword of intersectionality. Now, as individuals, we are not one thing, right? I'm a cisgender woman, non-practicing Christian, only because I was baptized. So, you know, I am many things. I am many things. I'm a Wyoming native. There's not very many of those, right? And many things. So all of us as individuals, we are many things. We are not just one thing. Our movement is not just one thing. We need everybody's ideas and everybody's attention and everybody's actions and everybody's calling their congressman and everybody signing petitions and everybody, remember this, everybody voting. In my heart, I feel like the people who actually elected number 45 are the people who didn't vote. So in 2018, let's make it our mission to register voters. Let's make it our mission to actually get into the polls. Let's make it our mission to find out what our candidates actually want to do for us, or perhaps what they want to do to us. Let's stay engaged. Please, let's stay engaged. One march, one call, one petition, that is not going to work this time. We need a constant pressure from everybody in every part of the country that is of the marginalized groups, of the protected classes as defined by the government, disability, ethnicity, race, religion, LGBTQ, gender identity, perception, all those things, classified, protected, classification, protected categories. We have to work together to get this done. Now, in the past, we've heard, well, this group doesn't really want to work with that group because they don't approve this, or yada, 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 yada. Whatever. We're all trying to accomplish the same thing: equity, equality, safety, and security. Why can't we do that together? Now, I know all of you watched, well, actually, that's not true. You heard about the inauguration. You heard a lot of different stories about about the inauguration, am I right? But I hope what you paid attention to were the Senate hearings for the cabinet members, because they're not our friends either. 45's appointments want to hurt us just as much as he does, and I'm not really sure he even knows what he's doing. He's just listening to Pence and Sessions, and the list goes on. I'm not sure this is a man who thinks about anything, really. And I also feel he totally lacks empathy. What he really wants is to have his name talked about all the time, and is constantly thinking of ways to do that, whether they're good for us or not. It's just about him. But we need to be equally worried about, or perhaps even more worried about, the cabinet members and the appointments that he's making in the U.S. Attorney's offices and the judges. We can't just let the rest of us slide under the table and not be reading about the little things that are happening in Congress or not happening in Congress that they're taking away from us, that the press isn't talking about or isn't the lead issue because it's not volatile enough. It is just as critical to our survival, all of us. Some water. Thanks. So I'm up here to connect the dots. Everybody has a story, needs to tell their story and share their story. We need to gather together. You need to organize amongst your local communities, not just in an election time, but all the time. Participate in protests, do those petitions, call your congressman, let him know when you like what they're doing, if that's happening, or not, you don't like what they're doing, because we know that's happening. We have to pay attention. We cannot get so worn out by all the bad news that we forget such good news. Alyssa and Janie tonight were such perfect examples of where the younger generation is going to take us. Unfortunately, right now, our government is still in the generation of the 50s, straight white old men. Republicans, no offense, anybody out there, straight white old men, Dennis? I'm sorry, I moved early. And even though Dennis isn't a Republican, we live in Wyoming, so not everybody in Wyoming is a Republican. They keep telling us you're all coming back, right? Because we need you here. We're not the only Democrats in Wyoming, there's like 12 of us. Anyway, I digress. My point is, this is a community fight. This is it takes a village moment. And we all need to stay engaged in our own way. In our comfort zone, sure. Out of our comfort zone, please. Take on something new. Put yourselves out there for something, learn something new, talk to new people, find out what their problems are, listen to what they are trying to tell you about what they are going through too. We spend too much time in our own little bubble of our own group, maybe. There are more issues out there than LGBT issues or race issues or religion. It's everybody. We need to listen, we need to pay attention, and we need to work together. I want to thank you tonight for your continued patronage of the work that we do. You come to this Gala every year. I appreciate it so much. You know we couldn't do this work without you, not just financially, but your heart and soul is with us every day we do it. So thank you very much. the video screens,